Oh, hi there. It is Tuesday, and after a long, 7+ hour chat, pure chat stream yesterday, you could probably hear my throat is still a little raw, and maybe getting rawer. So I am going to probably take it a little easy today. Maybe talk a little less and play a few games. I'm also just exhausted. I think I don't remember if we had a conversation about this last year, the sort of the post tournament letdown or post event letdown, I guess you could say, where you're just all jazzed up. You're in this event. Hey, Shogi Noob, nice to see you. You're at this event. You're all psyched up about it, and then and great to see you, Cyan Cannon. Great to see you. You're watching without audio today. Ah, thank you, thank you. I don't think there will be much audio, at least not much talking, because as you can hear, if you still have the sound on, I'm a bit raw. I'm a bit raw from that 7+ hour stream. Ghost One, great to see you. Great to see you. So so I'm just gonna play some games, and then after the games, I think I'm just gonna sleep. The post tournament letdown really hit me. I am exhausted, and I don't know if it's because of sort of lack of sleep, or like last night I slept a lot, but I'm just beat, or if it's emotional drain from the event, or if it's a combination of physical and emotional. Because during the event, even though I wasn't playing, I was very focused and not sleeping all that much and doing a lot of driving. And so that'll be it. Let's get started. Let's definitely get started. I am hoping that some of what I witnessed over the weekend will rub off on me a bit. Not expecting it, but hoping for it. And I'm just going to try to play my best, try to learn from these games, not give up, and maybe get the winning streak event avatar. So let's begin. Oh, I've got the music. I was going to make this a chill stream. Let's turn off the music. Let's just, for today, let's make this a calm day. We've been hearing a lot from Sukada. I love the calm voice, but we can also do Yuki Muroya. Let's go for this.
あなたが先手です。
Alright, Shodan MG22S.
対局開始。
よろしくお願いします。
嬉野流。
嬉野流. The music is intense. Extremely intense. Alright, third file. Torizashi.
取り差し。
Going on Aguma, and I'm going to do the exchange. The quick engage. Hey, Spinal Tap Chess, nice to see you. Yeah, I do not agree with that. It's certainly disappointed that you lost there, but it was a good game. It was a good game. I think he's going to drop a rook. Didn't defend, had to defend. One of those. I loved the attack that you had. The potential. But the thing is, I'm so bad at evaluating. So I'm going to just do this. I don't know if this is right, but he's still not in a castle or anything like that. His stuff is still looking not so great. No, Spinal Tap had a WSL game. Did I miss an opportunity for a bishop drop there? Let's do this. Oh, I've already got my dragon. Yeah, that's not smart. That was so now he can drop the rook. Well, if he drops the rook, okay. If he drops the rook, I would have dropped the pawn. So now I have a target. I think dropping the bishop is right here. I think dropping the bishop is the move. Dropping the bishop and giving it up. I think. You're looking to make a token, looking to take this lance. So what happens if I push this? He drops the rook here. Hey, Skykeeper, nice to see you. In Magic Base, I didn't greet you. I responded to your question. Good to see you again. I come up. He drops the rook. If he drops the rook, do I drop the bishop? Do I drop the bishop here? All right, well, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. All right. Okay. I wonder if I should have well, let's threaten the silver, open up the defense of this pawn, and should I get my rook back? Bishop. So I think I'm looking to get my token down here. Why does that happen these days? Token down here, threatening this. Also just threatening coming in. Count made 2009. Oh, Magic Base, you've got your Twitch account is from 2009. Is that possible? That's impossible. Hey, Chessfan NC, good to see you. Well, thank you for that nice comment. Um, the I'm all right. My throat is raw from yesterday's 7+ hour breathless chat stream. I think I had one like 2 or 3 minute break yesterday. Ooh. It's interesting. What's the idea there? I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna take it and ask questions later. Hey, Killer Ducky, nice to see you. Nice to see you. um, should I slide my gold over? Let's get the gold over. Let's get that gold over. Okay. Okay. Now we can attack. Now we can attack. So that is Twitch. You had from Twitch in 2009 and you're from 2011? Has it been active? Has Twitch existed that long? Was it just in TV in 2009? Okay. Okay. So let's say it was my move. I take, take, silver back, and then what do I do? Um, then what do I do? I get my token over? Or I guess now do I have to get my
5分
pawn in? Take. You can't take. Yeah, let's do this. Let's attack. Let's attack fast. Bishop is not a good defensive piece. So I'll give, I'll end up giving him, I'll get 2 golds. I'll get his 2 good defenders, and I'll give him a poor defensive piece. Hey, Foradun. And then I think I still have time to slide the token over. I think. Quiet. I think this will be a quieter stream. Again, I apologize, but my voice is, as you can probably hear, raw. This has been a fun game. I wonder if I could have made this a little faster. Wow. Okay. Oh, I like that move. I do like that move, although I did just get a free gold. If I drop the gold here, if I just drop the gold here, he can take. He can take, and then I take, and then he redrops it. If I take the silver, then I drop the gold. I take the silver. If he takes with the gold, I drop the gold, which is Sumero. He takes with the silver. I take the silver. and then I'm threatening this free silver because he has to defend because that is Sumero. So let's do that. Let's do that. Maybe he's gonna block. He's gonna try to block the dragon. It's Sumero, so he has to defend. Oh, that's a nice way to defend. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I like that. That's a very nice way to defend. Okay. Do I have
$3分
do I have some way to so silver? He drops a silver. No, silver. Yeah, he has no golds. So Sumero again. Now, I have no silvers, but it's still Sumero. Do I have mate?
2分30秒
Is there a better way? If I take with the gold, he opens the pawn. So I'll take with the rook. Oh wow. No, that's not mate. I can run.
2分
Can I take? Wait, I take. No, he has no. If I run, he has the way to check. No. No, if I run, he drops the bishop. That's not enough. That's not enough. That's not enough.
1分30秒 あなたの勝ちおめでとう
Okay. It was made if I ran because he had the bishop. Hey, Koshiro. Thank you, everybody. Hey, Booty Alien on YouTube. Good to see you too. That was a good game. I thought that was a pretty good game. The tournament was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And I see a first-time chat from Carry You. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. I've got to learn to read all the comments. I saw your comment about the silver. I didn't know what it was in relation to. And especially during the game, I don't always want to get hints. So I don't usually read chat, because today, I see the viewer count is already, climbing up there, and I wanted to just be sure to greet people, and but yeah. So I will, for in response to your question, Tulip, it was absolutely incredible. I am going to try not to talk so much today. As you can hear, my voice is a bit raw, and let me track that win. My voice is a bit raw.
Win.
And
current streak is 1 win.
Change the scene. From yesterday's stream was over 7 hours of just chat. it was all talk. So, a long weekend of talking to people, and then a 7+ hour stream with one like 2 or 3 minute break in the middle, of just nonstop breathless talking. And it really took its toll. But I will say that there were a few things of note. One is that, and this has happened a couple times, and I'm sure it's going to happen again in my life, but in watching all the games I did from these incredible players, I did. Well, Chessfan NC, I did respond to that. That's why I said thank you. That's why I said thank you for the kind comment. That's why I said thank you for the kind comment. I definitely read that one. And thank you again for it. I appreciate it. But I'm not going to say how old. But I appreciate the comment. I appreciate the kind words. But so during the tournament, I think I learned, or I got a sense, and we were talking about this yesterday, and I Dream of Shogi, I think, backed me up on some of the things I was saying, is that I got a better sense of what this game is all about. And a little bit of that was put into this last game. A little bit of it was put into the last game. But, I don't want to make too big of a deal out of like a sample size of one game and being like, oh my God, I've solved Shogi. But so in watching these games, the thing that struck me with these strong players, a couple things, at least a couple things, but a couple that I'll mention, is that so often when the opponent threatens one of their pieces, they don't necessarily defend the piece that's being threatened. They attack another piece of the opponent. They try to one up the other player with a bigger threat, or another threat of equal value, rather than simply defending. For example, if I'm Sente and I have a silver on I'm just trying to think of a position. I have a silver on 3/7, let's say. It's silver on 3/7, and the opponent drops a pawn on my head. I could pull my silver back, or I could pull my silver back. I could pull, I could defend. I could push my silver forward. But there might be a pawn drop that I have near their king that attacks a defensive gold, or something like that. Or I could drop a knight, or I could I could threaten their rook with something, or those types of things. So I think my instinct has always been, oh my gosh, the opponent is attacking me. How do I prevent? How do I defend my position? And instead, I think I should be asking, okay, he's threatening me, but can I make a bigger threat somewhere else? Can I attack him and maybe get closer to the king, kind of thing? And I saw that in those games time and time again. And I saw that in the games that I played. I played casual games on Friday night. One versus a strong player from Vancouver who I had never played before. Another versus Brazil's Led Zeppelin, Nicolas de Toledo, who had an incredible tournament. He flew all the way from Brazil and had an incredible tournament, and he's a great guy. I talked a bunch to him, and then the third game was against a Shogi Harbor member and Canada. He lives in New York, but he plays for Team Canada in WSL. Snowpiercer R. I don't know how to pronounce his. I don't know if the last R is silent, but I've always said it Snowpiercer R. He's a former and somewhat current Urashino Ryu player. He's what I call a self-loathing Urashino Ryu player. Whereas I love the opening. He seems to have like a a hate relationship with it. Maybe a hate, maybe not a love-hate. But we had a great game. It was really fun. He did essentially the Ishikawa counter strategy to my Urashino Ryu, and it was a real back and forth fun game. But especially in the game versus Nicholas that I played, I saw that sort of attacking, maybe make bigger attack first, defend second, or maybe defend third behind something else. Strategy. He was very aggressive and very creative, and I often in my mind sort of this is something that people would say in the Go world a lot. People in the Go world would say they'll be like 6Q or whatever, and they'll play a handicap game against a pro, and they'll be like it's almost like a platitude. They say, thank you, I learned so much from the game. And I'm over there like, I'm doubting Thomas. I'm just like rolling my eyes in my, internally in my head thinking like, oh yeah, you learned a lot from a single game where with the handicap. So, I'm always a doubter for these people that say, thank you for the game, I learned a lot. Because someone in their life will play thousands and thousands of games. And the idea that one game could sort of make a difference feels to me almost like it feels absurd. It feels absurd. It's a nice thing to say, thank you, I learned a lot. And but I have my doubts about that. But this game, I think, I don't want to say I learned a lot. I don't want to say I learned a lot, but I do feel I learned something. You try every game that you lose, and I did lose this game. To Led Zeppelin, definitely. It was a really cool game. He played he played Nakabisha, which I didn't think he played because I've seen a bunch of his games. He's a regular in the Brazil tournament scene. But he plays a lot of interesting things. But he played Nakabisha, and I played Torizashi. And at the point where the Nakabisha player will start castling the king, instead he brought his king side, on for the Nakabisha player, the right side, the Mino side. He opened that pawn and then started bringing up the knight. So he started making very fast attack, and so I got to witness some of the strength of his attacks, and in my own somewhat feeble attempts to parry it. Though I think I played pretty well. I don't remember as much about it as I wish I did. But the thing that I take. Oh, so talking about takeaway. I think at this point when I lose a game, I want to be able to at least take away something from it. Take away at least a minor thing from it. It doesn't have to be epic. It doesn't have to be monumental. But any game I lose, I want to take something away. Like if I would have lost this game that I played just now, I think my takeaway would have been that maybe I didn't move the token in fast enough. I'm not sure. I without reviewing it, I don't know. But it felt like maybe somehow I was a little slow with it. But then again, tokens are so deceptively fast, and that's another thing that I learned. Yeah, I did win Zion Cannon, yes. But that's another thing. I won this game, not the game against Led Zeppelin. That's another thing. Another takeaway from the tournament is about defending and attacking. Defending in some way by attacking. And as you might know, or you might not, I had the sort of honor and privilege to be able to transcribe the games that were played on stream. So I was there for the top players in the tournament, front row seat at their games, transcribing all their moves. And that idea of attacking instead of defending hit over and over and over and over. Like, it was slapping me in the face. Excuse me. So there's that. And then let me see. Chess Fantasy, you say you're happy you're finally understanding how to strategize. It's still difficult. I think it will always be difficult, no matter how good you get. And you watch a video from Caruana. You may know. Yes, yeah. Top Grandmaster. He said Shogi is more complicated than standard chess by 10x. Yeah, chess players talk up Shogi. I don't know. I don't know if how much I agree. I do think it is much more complicated, as we talked about, I think, last week. But interesting. Tulip, you say, often these moves make their attack worse anyway. Watching pros do this is fascinating. Yes. And the last game of the tournament was a pro game demonstration against the tournament winner with a bishop handicap. And that was I think a key feature of that game was, and maybe this is a key feature of a lot of top level games, is that you don't always defend. You often just you make a bigger threat, or you make another threat. You keep attacking. The person you recommended learn Urshin or Ryu got showdown within a day and beat you in your most recent game. Is this a strong chess player? It has to be a strong chess player, because no one else is getting showdown in a day, right? Like, absolutely no. I am willing to say it's impossible to get showdown in a day unless you're already like a very strong chess player. But they were they were 2Q before they learned Urshin Ryu. Oh, so they didn't start Shogi that and then the next day they became Shodan. Okay, I see. Yeah. So that was one lesson. Another lesson, and I don't think I talked about this one yesterday, was that when attack, well, they sort of go hand in hand. When you are attacking the king, and this is something Alexei has said a year or more ago. Often when you are attacking, especially with like a horse, you don't retreat when they say they add another general or something like that. Often you do not retreat. You try to make another attack, or you sacrifice that piece, and you keep your attack going. Often I'll be like, I'll make my attack, they'll drop another general, I'll move my horse away, then maybe they'll drop another general, and now they've got a 3-piece castle, and things like, and my attacks generally will fizzle out. But so in conjunction with that idea is that when you're doing it with a horse, when you're attacking, when you're attacking with the horse, not only do you not retreat, but it's often it's valuable to sack that horse for a gold. And what I try to do in this game, try for a gold or for a defensive silver, maybe even, because now what does the opponent get in hand? The opponent gets, yes, it's great to have a horse on offense, no doubt. Having a horse near the king is incredible, but taking one of their generals, putting it in your hand, and giving them a lousy defensive piece like a bishop is awesome. Is great for the attacker. So that one, I knew that idea intellectually, but it really didn't set in until this weekend, where the bishop is really bad at defense. And so you say same for a dragon, or too good a piece. I am not willing to make that dragon sack as often yet, unless I see a concrete line that's going to give me a big advantage or the win. I'm not as willing to do that yet. I think the same idea applies, except that the dragon is so valuable as an attacking piece, because you have that pin. You have pins, and as Tulip says, often dragons attack from further away. Yeah, so I'm less willing to do that. And the dragon, in many ways, is a better defender than a rook, I think, in hand is a better defender often than a bishop, because let's say the king is there. Let's say the king is on the back rank and they have 1 gold left in defense and it's their turn, and I just sacked a rook for say I sacked a rook for a gold and a silver. Now they can drop their rook, and their rook will now defend sideways and forward. So it's a better, in my mind, this is what I'm saying. I don't know if this is true, but it feels to me like a rook in hand for the defensive player is a much better defender. Not ideally, it's not an ideal defender by any means, but it's better than a bishop, which is a relatively lousy defender. So that was there. And then the other big takeaway, well, I'll two other big takeaways. I'll say the one that I wasn't going to say first. The other one is, and I know this intellectually, and I've tried to put it in practice. Sometimes I don't put it into practice so well, but do not give up, and do not ever believe that there was something as an unlosable game. Obviously, unless you read the easy mate, or you read the mate against you, and I think that's where it sort of this idea doesn't really apply. But excuse me, do not, especially if you do not read the mate, do not give up. Shogi, as Koshiro has said a bunch of times, is a game of comebacks, and it's one thing to know that, and it's one thing to see that, especially at my level, where players are relatively weaker, so we have more chance of a comeback. But this weekend, these are the players that I was watching. These are some of the best amateur players outside of Japan, outside and maybe including, I don't know the level of play in Japan, obviously, but these are some of the best players that we have, the amateur players that we have in the entire world, and time and time again, because I am annotating these, or I'm putting these games, I see the eval, I see the graph. These games are losing, dead lost, and the player turns it around against another incredible player. It's not like I fluked into finding a winning game against Michael or something like that, and he managed to defend and I failed to attack. It's not one of those, which is like, you could easily write that off by saying, I am bad, so of course I'm going to blow the game. But he's playing this against great players, and even the great players are sometimes failing to finish these games. A game that if I was playing on Shogi Wars, I would say this is an unlosable game, and if I had lost the game, I would have been, just a stupid Shogi Wars game. I would have been really down on myself and beside myself, thinking, I'm never going to get good at this game. But here, at a big tournament over the board with decent time control, 40-second Byoyomi is not exactly fast, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot, but it's a good amount. And even with that, a legitimately great player missed the mate. Or missed the mate because there was mate on the board, but also you missed the surrounding of the way to close out the game, and it was just fascinating. It was so eye-opening, and so on stream, and hopefully in my head, I am never going to say again that was an unlosable game. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be upset if I don't close out these 99/100% games, 95, 99. It's I want to be able to close out these games. Of course I want to close out these games. But Shogi is not so easy. and it's a 2-player game. There's another player defending their heart out on the other side, and it's not always so easy to win a game. And this is a saying that I invented, or I came up with when early on in my streaming days to try to cope. Shogi is a hard game. Now I don't even remember my own saying. Shogi is a hard game to win. Is an easy game to lose, but a hard game to win, or a hard game to win and an easy game to lose. Excuse me. And so as a mental mindset, excuse me, type thing, I am going to take that. And then for the final one, which I don't think I said yesterday, or no, maybe I did. No, I don't know if I did. Is the play of the pawns, the play of the pawns, and the value, it seems, or my perceived value in watching these games. I don't know why the players are doing this, but I can come up with ideas in my head for why. But they push pawns, they clash pawns so often, and many times in these games, both that I'm watching on the stream or the games that I'm watching as I'm walking around the playing hall, I see sort of the exchange of Sente clashes pawns. Let's say Sente clashes pawns on the 3rd file. In response, Gote clashes pawns on the 4th file. In response, Sente clashes pawns on the 6th file. And by clash pawns, I mean, brings up the pawns such that you have 2 pawns directly attacking each other. And so you have a situation where it's now Gote's move, and there are 3 files that have pawns directly facing each other. So you end up with this game of, I don't know if it's like a game of chicken, but which pawns do you take? Which do you not take? Which files do you want open? And I think a lot of the reason why is because there's no implicit necessarily value in having a pawn on the 6th rank or on the 4th rank, especially if it's not doing any defense. But getting rid of that pawn gives you an area to later drop a pawn ahead or behind on defense, but ahead. So you get a foothold or something like that. I don't know if that's the reason why players do this so often, but I saw it a lot, and it felt chess-y, when a lot of times when I think people will say you bring pawns and you have pawns facing off at each other, and you don't want to release the tension. You don't it's like sometimes you just hold that tension where all these pawns can take each other, and until the moment is right. And I think a large part of shogi middle game is that decision of when is it right to take the pawn, or when is it right to clash the pawn, when is it right to do something else. But especially in the end of the game, and especially for a player who is down. So because I'm seeing the eval, and these players are so good, I'm sure they know who's ahead and who's behind in many of these positions. But it seems to me that when you are down and you need to flail, you need to flail, it is so much easier to flail when the files that you want to attack on are already devoid of your own pawns. So you can either drop a pawn, you can drop a knight, you have ways to threaten. But a lot of times when I play, I'm not pushing pawns as not willy-nilly, because obviously these players have a reason to it. I'll often be in a situation where I know I'm in trouble in my games, but it feels like, and I'll say like, why are my opponents always able to flail against me and I can never flail against them? Well, I think it's because I don't set up the position such that I give myself any avenues for flailing. I don't know if this is true or if I'm reading too much into some of these things, but I often don't have a way to flail because my files are all still full of my own pawns. They attack me, we exchange pawns, and I redrop another pawn to defend. So now all my files are full of pawns doing defense, and meanwhile the opponent has the big advantage and they just need to mate my king, and I have no footholds or I have no ways to flail against them to try to come up with counterplay. So I think those are the things. Those are the four main-ish takeaways of playing. Some of the other takeaways from this weekend is that I have a new respect for the record keepers in professional shogi games and in any shogi games. Since I did it, it was, as I said yesterday a few times, the most stressful shogi activity that I've ever done is recording those games, because I desperately did not want to make a mistake and desperately did not want to distract any of the players in any way possible. So I'm just trying to sit there and be as still as possible and accurately record these moves, some of which start flying in fast and furious. Especially, it seems like the timing is like the moves start flying fast and furious when someone comes behind me and starts talking to me, like to ask a question or something like that. So I lose track, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, how do I recreate this position? And the players are still making moves, and it's crazy. And so I have a new respect for those people. I have a new respect for. I've always had the respect for people who make nice, nice production value streams with good interactive layouts. The people that built this tournament's stream layouts and got the cameras set up and got everything going, that was not me. None of that was me. They did it, and they did just an awesome job in very short time, and with a lot of changing sort of logistical stuff going on. So they did an incredible job. So that was like a takeaway. How much effort and money it takes to run like a nice event, and obviously this stream could be improved. Like if we could have gotten the sound, it would have been nicer. But there was my understanding is that there was some delay issue between the audio and video that was preventing that. But even without it, I think it was awesome. So that was it. And then I think there was one other main takeaway. What was it? The cat is. One other is that I can't remember it. So I guess if I remember it, I'll mention it. But that was it. And highly recommend people to go to these events in the future. Go and support these events. Enjoy it. Play other players. Meet other shogi players. It's always so welcoming. People are incredible. Shogi players are in general, and almost not just in general, like almost exclusively really, really nice people. The people that I've met, and yeah. So all right, yeah. Yesterday's stream, it's 7 hours, so I haven't re-listened to the whole thing. I think I'll probably listen to it in podcast format over the coming week or weeks as I drive places. But it was a lot. It was incredible. Shogi events they're just phenomenal, and being able to meet new people, see people that you haven't seen in a long time, play shogi with them, watch incredibly high level games. It's there's not much better. You know, the strength of the pros is you know, as much of an amateur fanboy as I am. You know, I watch those pros and I'm just stunned by their effortless, what seems to be effortless strength over and over, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome. So anyway, let's try another game. Hopefully that last game won't be a fluke, and I'll have a decent game left in me. Game or two.
あなたが先手です。
Another showdown. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
嬉野流
Yo, I'm trying to get the winning streak event here, Shogi Wars. Oh, we got it, Urashino Ryu. So what am I going to do here? What am I going to do? Let's, do I want to make Gangi? Do I want to, no, let's do this. Let's do this. I don't have the greatest sense of what to do against the mirror. I like the mirror, but every time I do it, I feel like I'm inventing it from first principles. I am going to, maybe I should have come up here. Maybe I should try. I'm going to try to do the Gangi-ish thing. Maybe, not Gangi, the Yagura-ish thing. I don't think I can now. Now I don't think I can. All right, let's come up. So if he drops a pawn, that's fine. If he comes in, I drop the pawn, and that's fine. So let's come up here. I actually think maybe I should have brought in the pawn up. Wow. Take. He's going to want to wedge the silver in there. I think I'm good. I think I'm good here. Do I have some other I can't drop the pawn. Let's just push this pawn. Let's push this pawn.
7分
Bishop drop here. He's gonna, he can't take. I think he can't take because I'm gonna, I'll push this pawn and I'll get the free silver. Bishop drop, bishop drop. Bring the bishop up here. Bishop drop here. Is there how can I get a bishop aiming at this? 552. He's got a lot of time. So let's open this stuff up.
Tataki no fu.
Tataki no fu. I do this, he just goes back. He just goes back. He goes back, then I drop the bishop here. He comes up there.
5分
Gohun. So what do I, how can I, what do I want to do here? All right, let's feels heavy. I think I like my position. He's got a bunch of generals. I've sort of semi-wasted this okay. So now he's defending there. All right, let's do that. He's got to take and then take back, and then what am I going to do? Am I going to sack the gold? Do I That feels good. Oof. Threatening. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. No. I drop the rook. What is he going to do? How does he defend? Drop the gold here? Drop a rook here. Do I push this pawn? All right, let's do that. I think he's got to drop the gold. I get the knight. And so now I have
3分
push the pawn. What can I do? What can I do?
2分30秒
All right. That was a loud Shogi Wars snap.
2分
And Nihun, you got 2 minutes. So, can I attack? Can I attack? I don't see a great way to attack. I do this. Takes. Do I want a bishop? Yeah, I think I do. I think I do. Silver drop here is interesting. So I've got 137. I'm threatening taking on 4-3. Okay. All right.
1分30秒
Let's get that over. Okay. And he saw it. He saw it. Okay. How can I do something? Shoot. I need to make a move. I need to make a move. But I don't see a good one. I don't see a good one. I just don't see a good one.
1分
It's a nice move. That's a very nice one. All right, let's get this up. How can I get in? How can I get in? Maybe I can bring my knight in. He's going to take my knight now, maybe. Okay. He's not going to take the knight. Let's threaten the rook. Also threaten this silver. I'll gladly take this silver. He needs his rook, so I think he has to protect it. Samaro. Knight drop here. Ooh, Yeah. Let's see. He's got to run.
30秒
Can I use a knight? I can't use a knight. Can't use a knight. Yeah. Let's...
20秒
Can I use a knight? Can I use a knight? Sumero again. Is there any... What can he drop? He has no side piece. He has no side piece. He's got to drop a silver back here. Then I drop a gold. No, then I take. No, then I drop a gold. He drops a silver. What do? I take. He drops a silver. I take. And then I can drop a silver. Okay. ありがとうございました。
激戦を勝ち切りましたね。
All right. I think PGA the endgame, you say? Did I actually greet you, Surgebringer? I responded to your message. I don't know if I actually greeted. So welcome, because we did talk about the dragon, but I don't think I actually said hello. So hello. Let's be good to see you, Ninworld. Yeah. Nice to see you too. So let's look at that end game. Let me track the
Win. Current streak is 2 wins.
Where are we? So instead of pawn 3-6, silver 4-2 seemed promising. Oh, pawn 3-6. Okay. This was a tough one. Yeah. So that one, that's a great point to look at. I saw the clock. My clock was going. I was so low on the time, so I had to make a move, and I didn't see anything else that I could threaten with. So that was here. So instead of pawn 3-6, and layout. Thank you. So instead of pawn 3-6, you're suggesting silver 4-2 promote. Oh yes. Oh totally. This, I didn't calculate that. I didn't read it. Had I realized that I could give up my horse, I would have done that instantly. Oh yeah. Okay. Obviously this. Yeah, and that's mate. Oh, yeah. Yeah, giving up the horse is topical based on today's conversation. Totally. I did it in the last game. I did not see. I didn't calculate, or whatever the word was. I didn't visualize that both the dragon and that I didn't visualize that I had the numbers advantage. I thought I didn't think I had the numbers advantage there. Yeah, I sometimes, this is a tricky one for me. I don't know if this is for other people or if this is just common. Sometimes the power of a bishop or a horse behind another piece, I sometimes don't, in my numbers calculation sort of game in the head, I often don't, I don't count it. I don't count it because it's blocked by my own piece. Hey, Emperor Rex, nice to see you. If I didn't have numbers advantage, why not add to the attack with bishop drop 8-6? Oh, I like that idea as well. I like that idea as well. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. But again, it might be subject to that same limitation that I've got right now, where I don't count a horse or a bishop behind another piece, that because I'm blocking it. So I would just be putting a bishop back that would again be blocked by my other horse, which is blocked by my silver. So hopefully this is my takeaway from this game. This is at least one of the takeaways from this game, is that I need to count the horses behind, especially behind a silver, because it enhances that attack. Just like a rook behind a pawn, or a rook behind a general, is magnified. This is one that I have to take away. Yeah, the pressure on the clock was definitely getting intense. But I felt the pressure of the clock. But one thing I didn't feel in this game, and I don't know if it's because of this weekend, but I did feel more of a calmness, that like, I've got to find the best move. I've got to find a good move. The clock is low, but I need to find a good move. But I need to find a move. And if I lose on time, I lose on time. Try to, if the goal of these games, and this sounds so like weak almost, but like, if the goal of the game is to learn something from the game and not necessarily to win the game, then maybe the frantic scramble to not lose on dirty flag, to not be dirty flagged or not to be flagged, maybe that is minimized. Maybe I don't know. So maybe it's more mindset stuff that helps the game. So Science Can, you say, you got a generic get better question after I'm done. Yeah. So what do you do to train to see placement forks? On your Least Shogi account, everything is pretty good except you're so struggling to see forks. I would say a lot of it, I think there's at least a two-pronged answer to that. For some, let me open your study here. Let me copy this. And this is this is a fork. This is a problem. So this is a problem here. Okay, so this will be the second. So I said that there are two, that I think there are two sort of, I don't know what word I used, like two aspects, I think, to getting better at seeing forks. The first is to do more problems. Do more too many problems, do more visualization. Too many problems that force you to visualize. I think you start seeing, the more that you do too many problems, the more that I think you're going to get better at visualizing attacking motifs, and forks are certainly one of them. But in this case, this one, so my number two was, I was going to say, I think with experience, you will come to get an understanding, or you'll start to get an innate feel when the opponent has put a piece on a square that is particularly susceptible to forks. And that is, that is now where, although I'm not necessarily reading the exact best move here. But like, if you look at this right now, the rook is aligned on the diagonal with the the rook is aligned on the diagonal with the king. But so that's one case. But now that I'm looking at this, I'm seeing what I think is the answer. So I'm looking for the king stuff first. So experience-wise, you'll see a rook here, a king here is often going to be, you're going to have some fork or pin type situation, and this rook often will come over here, and you'll get a rook and king fork. In this case, this is also a common motif, and I think you'll see this a lot if you have your bishop diagonal opened. Like these types of things would happen in Nakabisha games. I would get these kind of things quite often. This square right now, the only thing defending this bishop is a silver. So I hope this is the right answer because it looks like it to me. But the only thing defending this is a silver, and then the rook is the only thing that would be defending this silver after the bishop exchange. So what if the rook is not defending that? Well, we take, the silver takes, and now we have that the fork. This piece is now hanging. In order to take this bishop, the silver has to hang. The rook is already hanging, but now but then the rook can go back. So the rook can go back then. So hold on. The rook can go back. So maybe this isn't it. So this is a fork. This is a fork. So what else? What else do we have? So maybe the answer would just be to fork these two. So if the rook, so I think my vision of this is evolving to believe now. First I saw that this rook is in a spot of danger because it's pinned to the king, with the knight in the way. But I'm thinking of ways to win this knight. But if I do that, the rook can go back, defend the knight, and then we're kind of a little hosed. Then I thought, so after that, I thought, okay, well, this is another location. This is another, just by experience, this is another one of those alarm bells when the opponent has moved their rook. Exchange the bishop, the silver's there, and now we have a fork. But the rook can go back. So now what else do we have? Now we have bishop takes, silver takes, rook goes back to defend the silver, but now the knight is hanging. If that happens. Wait. Hold on. So now rook takes, or bishop takes, silver takes, we fork these two. The rook can go back to defend the silver, but then the bishop, the knight is still hanging. The knight can jump, I guess, to protect itself, but the silver's hanging. The silver can defend itself, but the knight is still hanging. So I'm going to guess that is it. I think this is kind of a cool problem because there are a bunch of potential fork. There are a bunch of tactical motifs in this problem. In this one problem, there are a bunch of tactical motifs, and it's just a matter of finding, okay, does this motif work? No, it doesn't because of this. Does this one work? No, because of that. Okay, well, that means this other one must work because now these two can't be defended. So I'm going to guess that that's it. I'm afraid to use it. So Tulip says, free promotion and minor piece, we take those. Oh, you're talking about the knight. So you're in this knight here. The bishop exchange to attack the silver is quite common in opening traps too. Yes. Yeah. So that's why I would categorize the response to your initial question in this as it's sort of an experience thing, because you learn these. You get just by playing the games, you see these particular weak. You get these motifs, these weak squares, or these tactical sort of hotspots. Absolute tactical hotspot here. Let me use red. Absolute tactical hotspot for the rook to be here and here. stuff like that. One other way I think you can learn these things, and I think it worked for me. You know, who's to say what works and what was placebo or something like that. But there is a book, there is a chess book. Let me get it here. Chess Tactics from Scratch. Gosh, that is a long URL. Sorry about that long URL. Oh, it's too long. It's too long. Hi, Origa Omoniwa. Nice to see you. It's too long for me to paste into YouTube. So let me see if this will just work. Oops, nope, that won't work. Let me try to see if I can chop off a bunch of. Yes, I can. Okay. So sorry about that Twitch one. So this book, I think, I haven't even finished this book. I have read the first few chapters, I think, of it. I've probably got, maybe I don't even want to. Let's say about a third of the way through this book, and I don't exactly remember why I stopped, because I felt that this book immediately leveled up my shogi, and immediately leveled up my shogi, and to a certain extent my chess, because at those days, this was before I had started streaming, a little before I started streaming. And I was going to, in addition to the shogi clubs I was going to an occasional chess club and playing games. And this book is, I've heard it recommended on a number of different podcasts. I think it's outstanding. It's well written, and the way it presents and crafts each tactic, I think, is amazing. If we had a book like this in shogi, it would be. If we had a book like this in shogi, it would probably be my favorite book. Even though I've only read the first third of it, I might say that this is my favorite chess book. You know, even over Simple Chess or Logical Chess Move by Move, or, well, I haven't read fully the Silman books, so I couldn't say that. So is this the answer? Let's see. Let's put my puzzle rating on the line. There we go. Do I like this puzzle? No, I love this puzzle. My puzzle rating is 2335. I stopped. I think my peak was 2400 something, and then I got 2 daily problems wrong or something like that, and I lost 100 points. Anyway, I am going to thumb this one up. That is a great problem. Hey, Just Filippo. So anyway, I hope that works. And if you do get this book, I hope you like it. You know, I'm always, as much as I recommend books. Hey, Jamzer, great to see you. Great to see you. As much as I recommend books, a lot. I'm always so hesitant to do it, because everyone's different, and just everyone's different, and it's I don't want someone to spend money on my advice and then maybe not like it. But I have heard almost universal praise for that book, and like I said, who's to say if it's placebo or if it just was a natural bump? But when I read that, which I think was in mid to late 2023, my shogi made a jump just from reading that Chess Tactics book, and like I said, I was also going to this casual club every Sunday in chess club in Mountain View and just playing games, and my chess leveled up just immediately as well. The first game I played after reading the chapter on pins. No, maybe it was the chapter on forks. I'm trying to remember. Trying to remember the exact game. Keep in mind, I'm not a good chess player. I'm not a good chess player by any means. I'm not even a bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. But this was a casual club, and there were other players. There was a nice range of players there. Anyway, I was playing someone. He claimed to be 1400 USCF, and so that's still beginner-ish, intermediate-ish level, I guess. But the first game. This is the first game after reading the chapter on forks. And I maneuvered this situation to set up a fork. So that's one of the things that this book does. It's not just a tactics book where it's like, find the fork, find the pin. The book goes into sort of the creation of the position that will let you make a fork or let you make a pin. So in that game, I crafted a fork, which he saw and defended against, and then I sort of crafted another one that, if I remember correctly, wasn't able to be defended easily, without giving up some pretty big compensation, and it was just like this tactical. For me, it felt like I was creating this tactical masterpiece of a game where I just kept making tactical shot after tactical shot. And I don't think I'd ever played a chess game like that before. And it was like it feels too coincident. It feels too much like it would be too much coincidence if I just read this book and then immediately started doing things like that I've never done before to create things that I just read about. I think I want to say, like, in a similar way to that, these, gosh, my voice is starting to is really going. I do not have a chess rating OTB or online. No, I mean, well, online, like on chess.com, like daily games, which are those correspondence games where half the games don't get finished, because people stop playing. So you get free wins against people who are rated sometimes like 1900 plus or whatever. I think I'm 1600 is something in correspondence games on chess.com. I think I probably have, like, on chess.com, and this is from years ago, because I haven't played chess in a long time. I think my peak was 1300 something rapid on chess.com. So, not good. I have regularly, at this casual club, like, I've regularly beaten a player. Like, one of those situations where, I've beaten this person like 3 times and he's never beaten me. So, not a large sample size. He's like 1300 chess.com. So I'm, somewhere in there. So, who knows? Not good. Not good. I do love the game. I still do I love watching it. I love chess puzzles. I think chess puzzles are just so beautiful. But I'm not good. I am a member, or I was a member of USCF, but I've never played a tournament. I've never played a rated tournament. I have played a 5-minute Kiramake Blitz tournament at a local. There's a club that's near me. It's called Menlo Park Chess Club, I think, and I've played a tournament there. And that was the tournament I was talking about, I think, the other day, where I said that at this tournament, you play your game, you reset the clock, and then you leave the playing hall. Just no noise, and then you give your result. If you win, I went regardless. You go to the TO and you give your result outside in the hall, so there's no distraction. And this was an unrated $5 buy-in, 5-minute blitz tournament, and even those were quiet and serious. But so about that book, where I said I don't know if it seemed like it directly impacted my game. my next games, just reading it, I am going to say, and maybe this is I don't know what, but I'm going to say that my experience over this weekend and talking about those things I talked about yesterday and those takeaways that I had, I think those 4 takeaways that I just discussed, a little bit ago, I want to say I would not have won these 2 games had I not been thinking about those things. I think I won these games in a way that I played and then eventually won these games in a way that I don't usually win games. In doing things that were done explicitly because of my experience watching these strong players over the weekend. And so, it's a small sample size, luck of the draw, all those kind of things, all those caveats aside. These 2 wins, each against a Shodan on Shogi Wars, more ammo. If anyone is thinking about going to a tournament, more ammo. You will get stronger. I'll just say it. You go to the tournament, you'll get stronger. In the world, you say maybe you got stronger in chess because of Shogi if you try to play online. Oh, it's possible. So I lied. I have played chess a couple times in the past year. Not online, but with my nephew, with my son, and my son is away at college, but he plays online, as I've talked about before. He plays online. He's relatively low rated. He's in that low elo chess.com rating hell, where I'm watching these games and I'm so stunned at how good these players are for their rating. But anyway, I play games and I feel like my nephew's pretty darn good. He's gotten older and he's gotten better, and I somewhat effortlessly won a couple games against him 2-3 months ago, and I hadn't played chess in a while, and I came out of that game thinking, oh my gosh, I think I played that game perfectly, or really well, and he wasn't making big blunders. It was like this slow positional game, and I was kind of amazed at that. And then when I'm reviewing, so my son, when he was over for the Christmas break, he was playing a bunch of games online. So I was reviewing his chess games with him, and trying to point things out. And as I was doing it, I was sort of like, I'm not good at reviewing. I'm not good at reviewing either in chess or shogi. But in these games, it was like I was able to help him help him with things, and then immediately he just started winning. So after some of these games that I reviewed with him, he just started winning, like using the ideas that I had like the things that I had pointed out. Nothing monumental, but I was thinking like, oh my gosh, has all this shogi helped my chess? Because the reverse, I felt in the past, like when I said this is in 2023, when I was watching a lot of chess, I was going once a week to different casual chess clubs. There's a casual chess club in downtown Palo Alto. These are by casual, I'm saying they're unrated games. They're unrated games. They're not tournaments. There's this little club. It met outside of like Cheesecake Factory or something like that in Palo Alto. So I was going, like, that was on a Monday night. I went and I beat someone who claimed to be, I think in my mind, it's like either 1900 or 1700 USCF in the Scandinavian. So as black in the Scandinavian, I think I caught him off guard, but it's also possible that, when people give a USCF rating, they give their peak. They don't give, I'm 1800, but they don't say when I was in college 20 years ago. They don't say that part. They'll just say they're 1800 in my experience. So, I was going to casual clubs, this other casual club that I was just talking about in Mountain View, and then that one in Menlo Park, which is not a casual club, but it was a blitz tournament night. So yeah, I was surprised. That this past winter, when I was playing, when I was talking to my son about this stuff, that's like, this has really worked. Oh, but so what I was going to say, in 2023, I definitely felt the inverse was true. When I studied chess, or when I did chess puzzles, I thought my shogi was rising. I definitely felt stronger in shogi. And just like as I already said, that book, I thought, improved my chess and improved my shogi. So I usually, that is one of the, because I'm not a chess player and I don't know much about chess. That is one of the only books that I ever recommend to chess players, or to people asking about chess. I recommend it, especially because on podcasts, I've heard so many people recommend that book that I feel like it's a somewhat safe recommendation. It's not just me, with some weirdo recommendation. So yeah. So I think the three that I'll usually, if someone like some lower level chess player asks, like, what chess books do you like? I think the ones that I'll say, it will be Tactics from Scratch, Logical Chess Move by Move, and Simple Chess. Simple Chess and Logical Chess Move by Move are sort of, they're annotate. They go through by annotating games. Really nice, really nicely done. I really, if we had that kind of stuff in the shogi world, in the English language shogi world, it'd be so nice if we could get more of those types of things. But c'est la vie. Actually, I don't even know what does c'est la vie translate to. That's life. That's life. Well, Cyan Cannon, it's 1600 is a very good correspondence score, you say. This is chess.com daily. It's not like real correspondence. It's not like ICCCF. Is it ICCCF? Like there is a correspondence league where you play with engines and whatnot. But the thing is, I think probably most of my biggest wins on that daily chess on chess.com were just the opponent not playing. Was like I think I have, and I felt this is why I stopped playing. I have 2 wins. So I was playing a Jobava London themed tournament. They have all sorts of themed tournaments in those chess.com. It's really nice. The chess.com daily chess is so fun. C'est la vie means oh well. It doesn't mean that's life. I don't know French, so I sort of assumed maybe vie was life. And like it's the daily tournaments, which are never ending. So that's the thing. Those daily tournaments, you get into some of those, and some of the players will be so slow that these tournaments will literally run for longer than a year. Literally long. Oh, okay. So it is life. It is life. Yeah, c'est la vie. So I C apostrophe ES. EST. That's what I thought it was. And I thought that means like that. Like that's or it's. This is now the French channel. This is now the study French. This is Learn Shogi and French channel. But so these tournaments, like, they will last for potentially years. But anyway, so the last tournament I played, it was a Jobava London themed tournament where you start from a set position, which is the Jobava London, which is an opening I had been trying to learn at the time. And the tournament lasted so long The tournament lasted so long that by the time it was, I think we were into the like there are rounds of this stuff. So by the time we were into like the second last round, I wasn't even playing Jobava London anymore. I had switched because of Shogi to King's Indian. As I've said before, like because of Shogi, I play King's Indian attack, King's Indian defense, and then Scandinavian against E4, just because I love John Bartholomew and I've gone through those courses and yada da da. Yeah. Oh, Ninworld, that type of thing. That's exactly it. You have a day, like the tournament is there, and you might have 200 or 300 people all done with their games, all waiting for the next round to start, and then one game is left, and the game is over, but the one player takes all 3 days to make every move and just keeps making moves. Even though they have no hope of winning. And so, 3 days per move for another 20 or 30 moves, that's a long time. That's a long time to have like 200 or 300 people waiting on you. Yeah. And so it makes some of them a little anticlimactic, but either way, I really liked it. Especially since with daily games, you are allowed to use a book for the opening. The idea, obviously, anyone could cheat if they wanted to, and whatever. You're allowed to, by the rules. So I would use that as a way to learn openings, as a way to test my openings, and it was for me relatively low pressure because I was coming into chess. I didn't want to play fast time controls. I didn't want because I'm slower, so I really enjoyed them. But what finally knocked me out of playing daily games is that in that tournament, that Jobava London tournament, I was in a pairing group that had an IM, an international master, in it. And it was exciting. It's like, all right, I'm going to be able to play an international master. And we get into the middle game of the first game, and then he times out against me. So I get a win against an international master. La-di-da. And then the next game that I play, each player in the group had to play black and white on the thing, black and white side of the Jobava London. So in the second game of against him, same basic deal. I think it went longer, but he timed out on that one. And so I have these 2 wins against an IM, but the kicker was he didn't do that against anyone else. So all of a sudden I am on the verge of getting promoted into the final round on these cheap wins. These absolutely cheap wins, and I wasn't even playing the opening anymore. So I withdrew. I withdrew from the tournament, and I haven't played another correspondence game since then, because it's like I don't know. The specter of being accused of something is always seems so high in chess, and now all of a sudden my account has these 2 wins against an IM. I mean, if you actually dig in, you'll see they're not wins at all. They're just the guy timed out, and we didn't even play like much past the middle game, and it really put a bad taste in my mouth for that. And his rating, his daily rapid rating was like 1900, and dropping into the 1800s probably after mine, if I remember correctly. So he wasn't taking it so seriously. But I don't know why you would do that. I guess I don't quite know why you would do that. Oh, so you say you're 1300 now, but 1800 peak. Uh, so you're 1800 peak USCF? If so, that's impressive. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. There's this place in Japan called Budo University, which has people come in and train in Japan for a year in martial art in order to strengthen their skills. We need that for shogi. Well, is could you say that Shogi Dojo, Shogi Club 24 is that? Could you say that online shogi is that? Could you make that argument? Obviously you can't train martial arts online, but you can do shogi online. There was a top 4 player at this weekend's tournament who is in a zone in the US that there are not many players, and I don't know if the people we briefly were talking about this. I don't even remember who I was talking about it with, but they were speculating that with online you don't need local players. So it's possible that this player just got good online. I'd love to know. I wanted to talk to him after because I had talked to him a little bit. I think it might have been Saturday morning. I don't think it was Friday evening, but I talked to him. I had no idea who he was. He introduced himself. And like I say, like I said yesterday, I don't think he knows me from a hole in the wall. I think he was just friendly and wanted to talk to somebody. So I was talking to him a bit, and I had no idea that here I'm talking to this guy who's going to end up in the top 4. But I would so based on that, I would have loved to meet up with him after the event. Obviously congratulate him for his performance, but also to be like, how did you get so good? I think that's one of the questions I often want to ask people. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes I feel like a fool for asking it, but how did you get so good? I think that's a legit question that maybe people won't be able to answer, but I want to hear those stories. Oh my gosh. So Ninrold in that one game, 49 queen moves and then 1 pawn move to make the game. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. That's brutal. That is the definition of BM. And Ninrold, you say a real chess game needs to end at least on the same day. Everything else doesn't really work anymore. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel that way about shogi. I definitely still feel that way about shogi, even though people say that the pros would never do anything bad or anything like that, and they're held in isolation. I just think in 2025, it just doesn't make so much sense to have a game that with sealed moves that goes multiple days. But that's just my dumb take. Oh, you also get friends that get mad because they don't know you can use an opening book. Oh, so one other thing, though. Oh, gosh. It just slipped my mind. My one other thing just slipped my mind. That's sign of age. Anyway, you say they get mad because they don't know you can use an opening book. Yeah. That's one of the nice things about the at least the rules of chess.com dailies. You don't feel so bad. At least I didn't, so I didn't feel bad about using an opening book because it's right there in the rules. And I was using those games, I was using those games to learn. You're learning those games. What am I going to convert this 1600 daily chess rating into. Like, I'm not gonna be able to convert that into a cup of coffee or something. You know, it's like you can't. If you go to a chess club and they're like, you know, what's your rating? You're not gonna say, well, I'm 1600 daily, or no one's there's no monetary or emotional value in a daily game rating. So at least for me, there wasn't. Maybe there is for some people. I shouldn't assume. Because some people are probably like, who would care about your Shogi Wars rating? You know, why would you do about that? But meanwhile, I care deeply about it. Hey, Darkney Twitch, Darkney, I'll just say Darkney. Nice to see you. Boy. All right. Yeah, Lee Shogi puzzle rating is where the real value is at. All right, it's Lee Shogi puzzle. It's Lee Shogi puzzle rating comparison time. It's time. It's time. Let's get this going. My puzzle rating: 2335, 1451 puzzles. 1451 puzzles done. It doesn't show the peak. Oh, and I can only go back 90 days. Are there any from my games? Ah, darn. I'm 7 Dan in puzzle. Exactly. Many people are saying this. This is like where's my profile again? You have 1451 puzzles. This is 2335 at a rate of like 1 to 2 points per puzzle, just for a bunch of time, until, like I say, I got mad because I got 2 in a row wrong and they took away over 100 points. And so I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm never doing this again. And that, I guess, it's dropped off into temporary. So is there how do I see my all-time? So where's my all-time puzzle rating high? 2444 is up here. 2428, 2444. 2444 is the highest that I can show of my puzzles. Meanwhile, I'm on the mate challenge on Shogi Quest. I'm wavering between Shodan and 1Q. So clearly when I used to do these a year or whatever ago, I was not so great. Not that I'm so great now. I mean, I was not as good as I am now. You're doing the hardest puzzles, which gives you 25 and makes you lose 2. Oh, that's good. What level are you? What level are you? What is your current rating in puzzles? 1500. It's good. You know, I like I said, you know, I am a weenie. Like, I am not joking when I say I don't like those puzzles taking away so many points. I just that somehow to me, like, I don't care about my number, except I don't want to see my number go like that, like, not like this. So I've got that weenie attitude where I just was like, all right, well, I'm not doing this anymore. And I moved my puzzle study to other places. I think Lee Shogi does have some great puzzles. It also has some not so great puzzles, and you know, that's a problem. Like some of those middle game puzzles where they show it and it's I can't come up with an explanation. I can't come up with an example off the top of my head. But Yeah. So there's that. But anyway. One thing I did want to do, I'm like you can hear my voice is bad, and I had planned on not talking. I am going to be closing up pretty soon. I don't think I've got much more in the tank here. One thing I did want to look at though is WSL, because I missed the entire weekend of WSL. You think it's soothing? Oh, it hurts, and I actually do think, as I've been talking, it's sounding less rough than it was earlier. But let's so the recent games, they really Turtwig played. This is and he won. This is the Group B winner from this weekend's tournament. When did he play this? 429. Okay, so this was probably yesterday. This is probably yesterday he played this. I think 429 UTC, unless he played it this morning. Yeah, who is I don't know who is Tooro or Turo. Two-dan player. Two-dan player, peak of 3-dan. A player from Russia. Okay. Oh, cool. So he's got a FISA profile. That's a nice thing that Europe does. You know, I as much as I love this stuff, but I have a love-hate. Oh, you did play Koshiro. You did. Okay, so it didn't show in that list. I'm gonna have to look. I want to look at all this weekend's games here. So, I always wonder, does having the ratings, does it make events less fun? Why is the flag from Tooro only white? I assume because they're still doing that like the same thing that FIDE does, where they don't show the Russian flag. I assume his team is called WSL 4. I assume it's political stuff. Oh, so he's played as recently as this year. So he's Shodan in FISA. Look at all these events. 2024, he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events. Look how many games in each event. These events had 9 games. Nine games? And it's a 2-day event. This one's a 3-day. This is a 2-day event with 9 games. And FISA ratings, I think, require the games to be pretty darn slow. That's impressive. So this is the Belarus and Russian... this is the Russian Open Championship. It's got Belarus and Russian players. Wow. Look at how many players they have. What's this one? This festival, Gorod I Moria? I don't know if it's E or U. 30 players in Vladivostok. 30 players, all Russian. Wow. Look at that. Okay, here's this Krai, Primorsky Krai Championship in Vladivostok. 14 players. 14 players. One from Japan and one from EC. I'm not sure what EC is. What is EC? Yeah, I mean, in my mind, I was thinking Ecuador, but no one from Ecuador is going to be in Vladivostok, right? What's the ISO code for EC? Ah, well, ECU. What is the two-letter code EC? It is Ecuador. Yeah. Oh wow. Wow. ISO 3166. Wow. That's incredible that they're so active. Wow. Wow. Anyway, Turtwig, fresh off his victory, kept up the kept up the winning ways. My goodness. Onigiri, did she win? No, she lost. She lost to Alfieri. This is what am I trying to say? This is the Peru. So we've got Ukraine here and France. I don't know these players very well. YKT, love watching YKT. He won as usual. This is Poland, right? This is Thomas from Austria. What is the this is the Poland flag. This is the Polish flag. Two. YKT is so tough. So how do we get more recent games? I want to see this weekend's games. All right, so I'll just go through the divisions. Oh, so the first round, Koshiro has not played that first round game still. So this could be a tiebreak. Like right now, the point, it's 2-2. That 1 point could be a tiebreak, of importance for the tiebreak. Wow. MDK. Oh, that's a nice win. A 3-0. 3-0 for Brazil 1, the defending champs. The US team, their first round had 3, their second round had 2. Oh yeah, the Spinal Tap played this game this morning. Unfortunately, Spinal Tap did not win. It was a good game. All his games are good. Real fun to watch his games. Germany won. Tough. Very tough. Another sweep. What's there? They must be... Okay, I was going to say they must be up there. All right, what happens? What's going on in Division B? Brazil 4. One of my favorite teams is Brazil 4, but now that I've met Led Zeppelin in person and talked to him and played him, now they're even more of one of my favorite teams. So I'm cheering for them. I like this team though as well, but Angelito, I have always liked. Led Zeppelin, I've always liked, or I've always liked, but now really like. I don't know if I know this player very much. Oh, Mexico had a sweep there. Who else? So that was last week. So he's not playing this month. Maybe because of the tournament. Led Zeppelin is not playing. Brazil 2. No, they're Brazil 4. Oh, he is playing, and he did win. Ooh, a win against China. Wow. Okay. That's end of that one. Division C. Australia 1. Wait a minute. Is Tulip not playing? Wait, what? Tulip doesn't play WSL? Good win for Goldie64. I think this is a Shogi Harbor member. Good win against Peter Heine, Magnus Carlsen's coach. I assume he's still Magnus Carlsen's coach. I don't know anymore. You know, with him just playing freestyle and whatnot. Oh, that was round 1. That was round 1. Round 2. Oh no! No, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened, guys? Poland is tough. It's that is not an enviable position. The pharmacist had a nice win. Ghost 1 and Skykeeper, you guys never both lose. Oh. This team. We got this team going. Okay, this team has already won. Oof. Borden, when's this match happening? Oh. It didn't. It was scheduled for the 23rd, but it's never happened. It hasn't happened. Is someone going to? Does someone claim a win at some point? Led Zeppelin's win was against a 5-dan on this week on WSL. So the China player. Wow. Zinian 0-0. Wow. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. You know, based on how I've seen him play now. The people he beat, the people he won against this weekend were ridiculous. Plus, he beat me, which is even more impressive. Hi, Atari, you want to come on stream? Wait. This is Division C. Spain's Dipta Rising is on the Division C team. Wow. Has Dipta like bumped up her Dipta her level? Oh, 6Q. Interesting. They're in Division C. So who else won? I'm very disappointed. I am very disappointed. Yeah, he did. He beat the MO. I totally forgot. Oh man. Oh, I didn't make that joke at all one time this entire weekend. Oh, what a missed opportunity. What a missed opportunity to talk about the MO title. I should have talked about it on stream. I'll turn up the volume. I'll turn up the sound on the stream and just talk about the MO title. Oh no. Peter Heine got his mojo back, but the team lost. All right. Yeah, Guatemala this year is you're gonna have to up your games here in Division C. You guys are better than this. You guys are better than 0-2. All right, so Division D. And this is this. Okay, so the United States 2 here. So with Turtwig got the win. Akira 72 did not. So I don't know who Lanzor is, but this is going to be critical for this, decisive for this one. Snowpiercer got the win. So Snowpiercer got the win in WSL and got the win against me, against the MO. So also a very impressive showing, a very impressive April for Snowpiercer R. Clawmax game. The Great Britain 2 already won this one. Who's the favorite in this one? Is it Slovakia 2? Canada. Oh no, it's not. Slovakia 2 is not even at the top. Canada and Great Britain 2. Okay. Oh, I thought the US team beat them. Oh no. Okay, so only Turtwig got the win in that first round. Poland 2. Poland 2 is this team is real good. I'm going to guess that Poland 2 is probably the favorite right now. Oh, you played Murata system. Oh, wait. What? Murata system has traps? All right, so Division E. What else happened? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Onigiri was it? Onigiri is on 2 teams? Hold on. Division B. Oh, no, I saw Onigiri in the recent games list, not in that other one. Okay. They lost. They lost. Tulip is playing WSL. Okay. There are... Wait, there are... Yeah, it is. It is the real Peter Heine Nielsen. It is. Yeah, he's like... I don't know what he is now, but he's 3 Dan on 81 Dojo. I'm not sure if he might have gotten up to 4 Dan at some point. I don't recall. But yeah, he's there. He's talked about Shogi on the Chicken Chess podcast. If you've ever listened to that, it's no longer active, but I've heard him talk about Shogi. Grandmaster Matthew Sadler, the British player who is, I think these days very much into engines and whatnot. He is on WSL. I think he's MSC something. MSC number. He's like 3 or 4 Dan. Dr. Lennon. Oh, Dr. Lennon didn't win. Oh, gutted. I hope it was a good game. But anyway, wait. So back to the question about Tulip. How is Tulip not on the Australia 1 team? Are there are 4 or 5 players in Australia ranked higher? Or maybe Tulip was just always on this team and has improved over the time. All right. Well, there's still some games to go in April. I love watching these. I say it every time. I love watching WSL games. So these are happening today. I'll have to check these out. I wish I could watch as a guest like I used to be able to, because I leave my, as MO, I have to always be logged in. So I leave this machine on, but I would like to be able to watch the games in another room. But since guest is gone, I can't just log in and watch games. Anyway, all right. Well, still some WSL to go. So your opponent was a no-show. So are you going to still try? It looks like, that was scheduled a week ago for the 23rd. Are you going to actually try to still schedule it, or do you just get the win? Because Koshiro has one of those games that are just hanging out there from the first round. So back to Australia 2. Okay, wait. Australia 2. Oh, Division A. Oh, there is no Australia. Where's Australia? So Australia 1. So there are 5 players. I'm not really familiar with all these names. I've seen Archon. I've seen M. Gearing. Okay, you're claiming the win. That's a decisive win, right? Oh, you guys already have the win, but it's obviously for tiebreaker, it's critical. Like I was saying just a little bit ago, that game, that first round game for Brazil 1 is absolutely critical because they're currently tied with some other team, and and that point would put them above. Man, this is a good team. This is a real good team. Playing Spain next month. Oh boy! Wait, so Skykeeper and Ghost 1. Oh yeah, they. Wow. Skykeeper and Ghost 1 this year so far are both 0-2. The Pharmacist is 2-0. Wow. Yeah, USA 3 is good. Some of these that's one of the things that that we briefly discussed over the weekend, and I think maybe touched on in yesterday's stream, is that there are a lot of good shogi players out there outside of Japan. A lot of very good shogi players outside Japan. And yeah, I'm amazed. So yeah, the community should be growing. It should be growing. There are a lot of players. Like if thinking about if anyone was ever going to do like an interview podcast or something like that, there's tons of people to interview. Like even if say half the great players, like are shy or don't want to take part, there's still half of the rest of the players would make for years of content, because there are a ton of great players. And obviously on those, I like the podcast. There are a couple of chess podcast shows, but one that I like that's of the interview format, and he interviews people from, I think a recent one was 850 ELO, all the way up to he's had a grandmaster on there, but mostly the range is like 850 to 1850. So it's all in the middle, all somewhere. I like, just as a sappy person, I like listening to the wide range of players. Like I don't want to just listen to good players. I want to also listen to beginning players, or players who have been playing for 3 years and they're still bad. That kind of thing. I like hearing all those stories. You think I could host it? I don't know. I would like to. I just I don't know. I'm too boring. But I do think if I would have recorded the conversation, my critical blunder this weekend was not recording the conversation I had with Led Zeppelin. I think we could have honestly recorded that conversation and just put it out as podcast number 1. And I think it would have been really nice. I think it would have been really nice. But maybe that's because it wasn't official. Maybe because we were just having a conversation. So maybe if it like became an official thing and I'm writing questions and we're talking about things, maybe it would be lame. So you never know. You never know, because it was just a couple guys talking. Yeah. Anyway, my voice is really, speaking of talking, it's rough. It's rough. I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to stop. Today's games were really fun. These two games, I feel, we'll get some points here, get some season pass stuff. I feel really happy with these games. Both of these games. Two showdown victories, I'll take it. And like I said, I think I won these games in ways that I've never won games before, based on what happened over the weekend. So maybe I can take something and internalize some of these things. But it feels good. It feels really good. And as always, thank you everybody. It's boring is not a quality of mine. Really, Well, thank you. I mean, that's way too kind. I don't know if I agree with it, but it is way too kind. Thank you. It's fun. It's really fun talking to you all. Even in pain here, even in pain, it is really enjoyable. And yeah, so I look forward to tomorrow. I've got to get this. I've got to get the winning streak. So that's 2. That's the winning streak event. I've got 2 now. Take a look. Today's Don Q 1.5 Don moving up. The winning streak event is 2. So I need 3 more wins, and I can get that Ito Sae. And that's it. So thanks everybody. I look forward to tomorrow. I am going to have some more honey. I'm going to close the stream, have some more honey tea, and then just fall asleep. I'm exhausted. Thanks so much. Good luck for anyone else who's got some WSL games coming up this month. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye. I say bye, but I can't find my button to close off the stream. There it is. Take care. Bye.